Hello, this is Shawn Sandridge, and I am here to do the review for Married to Medicine, the reunion. So, this is the reunion part one. I know a lot of people have already done the reviews. I do not know what I am going to actually say because I literally just finished watching the reunion. So, I haven't really gotten all my thoughts together. I hope I'm not, rambling, but we'll see how it goes. So let's talk about how the ladies look. So I'm not going to go into detail because I'm sure you've seen people's reviews and everybody's had their input on the fashions and all that. But I will say that there were some things that stood out, so I'm just going to talk about it real quick. So Mariah, her dress, I love the color. I love the jewel tone, but for some reason, I don't think this dress did her the best on camera. I think that it is probably a very beautiful dress in person, but on camera, it didn't do anything for her. Um, so, Jackie, I didn't think the dress that she wore did anything for her, but her shoe game is always on point. Now, I mentioned, I can't afford her shoes, but those shoes that she wore, those jade-looking shoes, green shoes, oh my God, I fell in love with those. But I don't know. It was looking kind of battle dress between the shoes and the dress. I think she would have done better having maybe even wear all black, or maybe wearing a different color, all one color, and then the shoes being the thing that stood out. Like she stayed basic, not basic, but neutral in one color, and then the shoes be the statement piece. Quad, I think of all the looks that I've seen Quad in, as far as the hair, I like that short bob, the one that she wore to the reunion. I thought that is her best look on her. I like it a lot. Dr. Simone, I think Dr. Simone had the best overall look. Hair, makeup, I think as far as being put together, and I know that a lot of times she's kind of hit or miss, but I think during the reunion she looked really great overall. And Lisa, I didn't like Lisa's look. I didn't like her jumpsuit. The hair was okay. She decided to go short. It was okay, but I didn't think, I don't know, it looked very, see, this is what I was talking about, the bedazzled and stuff. It was like, she was looking very ice skaterish. I didn't like it. And, the white jumpsuit that she wore on the season finale for the lookbook reveal was a far better outfit, far more appealing than what she wore at the reunion. Didn't like that jumpsuit. The jumpsuit that she wore at the finale, great. The one that she wore at the reunion, not so much. So let's get into it. The one thing that I was overall very happy to see is that Lisa had a backbone in the reunion. I really would have wished that she had had the same tone and the same being very vocal about how she felt about them talking about her and her marriage. And it gives me some insight. And again, I apologize, I'm reading off my notes because I literally just watched it. So she was very, the most vocal about her situation with her husband, I think, throughout the whole time of the season and even the reunion before. I just wish she had been that way during the season. Now I will say that there was a clear distinction between who was alliance on one side of the couch and who was on the other side. So that was very evident. I did see that when in the beginning they were talking about the friendship and relationship between Dr. Heavenly and Lisa, that there was still some hurt behind it. And that was very clear. And, I don't know if they will resolve it? I would say probably not, because again, and I'm just saying, I'm speaking for myself as a married woman, when you start attacking my marriage or my husband, we're not friends. And there was one thing that overall bothered me about how the reunion played out with Lisa, and gave me some time to think about all of the situation. And I guess I'm not going to talk so much about the reunion as much as the dynamics of everybody. Throughout the whole season, Lisa never asked anybody for help, never asked anybody for advice, never asked anyone, okay? She would just make statements and was hoping that people would accept and rally around what she wanted to do, whether it was have a baby or, you know, talk about the conference. And she was saying that the conference was birthed out of the challenges that her and her husband had gone through, and that birthed the inspiration to start the conference. And that even though they're not completely there, she has seen light at the end of the tunnel. So I have not heard anything about Lisa asking the ladies for advice, but they are very, very adamant about what they all feel she should do in her marriage. And I guess as a friend, I don't operate that way. And I'm a different kind of person, but the problem, again, Lisa did not shut it down. And as a friend, I don't feel like I have the right to give my opinion. I don't feel that I have the right to tell you how you should conduct yourself in your marriage. I don't feel that I have the right to tell you anything that you should do with your spouse or with your partner. I don't feel like I have the right, because I know no one else has the right to tell me how I should conduct myself, or what I should allow or not allow with my spouse, or how I should feel. So if Lisa wants to have a baby because she wants to have a baby and she loves the bond that happens. Now, it's kind of evident that for a lot of the women, they don't know what she's talking about. It is not my right or my place to tell her, girl, you having the baby for the wrong reason, even if I feel that way. She has said, and I understand that whole idea that when you are pregnant, that during that time there is this undescribable closeness that some men have with the mother of their child. That is something very inexplainable. For some women love the whole process of being pregnant. There are some women that love being pregnant, and they are the most, I mean, they transform. They are the most beautiful person. You know, we say a beautiful pregnant woman, pregnancy glow, like it just brings something out in them. It is not me. It's not for me to judge or tell her she should not have a baby with her husband. She won't be the first. She won't be the last. But them always bringing up, just like I said, no one should be talking about Quad about having a baby if she doesn't want to have babies. I don't feel like I need to tell them. So I felt like you have none of the ladies have boundaries about what is acceptable, appropriate. You know, once she has said something, you'd be like, okay, girl, you like it, I love it, because that is what I live by. You like it, I love it. You didn't ask for me, I'm not offering about what I feel you should do in your marriage, because don't come to my door telling me what I should do. And I really found it really offensive that they're all saying, well, you don't have self-esteem. How do you allow? Because nothing in any of the conversations that Lisa was saying was anything that as a friend, I'd be like, okay. She's like, I've asked Dr. Heavenly in the issue of my marriage to not bring it up, you know, so she doesn't have boundary issues. She's like, my husband's not gay. He's a heterosexual male. He You don't know what goes on in my marriage. And I did feel a lot of judgment. And what it boiled down to me is that this is for the first time, especially seeing them all in this moment. I really feel that somewhere along the line, I don't know, and maybe I'm not saying it right, but I really feel like there is a certain amount of elitist that the other ladies seem to have, and I don't even know if that's the right word, but arrogance, that their marriage is where it is, and that Lisa is here. That everyone feels on whatever level that they're at, that their marriage is up here, and that they have the right to dictate to her how she should have her marriage. Whereas I'm sure if you looked at all their marriages, you know, as a friend, there's nothing about someone's marriage that you want all in. I mean, really, Mariah and Aiden, we don't know all the inner workings of the marriage, but, you know, I mean, nice, but it's not necessarily something that I would want to have in my marriage. Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon, they seem to be okay. Not necessarily what I would want in my marriage. You know, no one made an issue about Dr. Simone and Cecil having different houses, and they're not even in the, you know, the day in and day out, but yet they want to talk about Toya and her husband. I just felt like it was really very arrogant that these ladies projected onto her what they felt a good marriage should be, when if they were to peel back the layers of their own marriage, it's not necessarily ideal. Not everybody's going to think it's ideal to have a north and a south house, and that when you're in the same state that you can't live in the same house. You know, some people would say that's really unreasonable. But again, if it works for you, who am I to say? And I really had a problem. Like, I didn't feel like people were stepping in and saying anything to the contrary. Everybody was on, well, Lisa's this and her husband's that and their marriage is that. And I was thinking to myself, you know, I don't appreciate the way the ladies are treating this. Toya's talking about, well, you have businesses and what are you asking for having wanting to have a baby, and you're not even going to take care of it. Says who? Says who? I don't remember Toya talking to Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone about them being physicians, being doctors, and they have children. I just felt like it was definitely not, I would agree with Lisa, very judgmental and very hypocritical. Why are you going to say something about Lisa? And Lisa's not even a doctor. She's a businesswoman. So she's not the only working woman who works, owns a company, and is raising children. I'm a businesswoman and I have 3 teenagers. So what are you saying? What are you saying? That I can't build a business and take care of my family? But no one was stepping in and checking anybody. And that's what I was starting to get annoyed by that. And I have to say, I was kind of on Lisa's side. So, I also found it, you know, they were talking about Toya and her tax issues with Dr. Eugene. And I just found it funny how Toya was one of the many vocal women who were very judgmental about Lisa and Dr. Darren. However, when it came to Toya's issues about her money, she really wanted people to have some understanding and empathy about her situation. Well, you're wanting it, but you're not giving it. So, you know, I just found that to be telling. But I also found it telling, and again, it goes back to, I feel like I've been very consistent, is that you have to shut it down. And Toya was very clear. She says, I just want to make it very clear, from this time moving forward, okay, we have an understanding when it comes to it. He is not just doing it by himself. And I have contributed, and I'm signing over checks. So let's get that straight. And Toya was very clear about that. So my problem again with Lisa is that she allowed the ladies to kind of overrun her, and once that train starts moving, it's very hard to put on the brakes. But again, moving forward, if Lisa was to come back, she needs to just be, I would challenge everybody every time she would bring something up. Like, I didn't ask you. Last time I checked, I didn't ask you for your opinion on what you think. Next. You know, that kind of thing. Because Toya was very clear about shutting it down. And, you know, I don't think anybody really wanted to bring it up after that either, including Andy. So, Janice comes out. I have to say, Janice is a very, very beautiful woman. She was giving me, you know, she was giving me Diane Carroll glamour, you know. It was very glamorous. So I liked her look. And recapping how they introduced Janice, I didn't have a problem with Janice. Janice came in, shut it down, made it very clear about where she stands with things. And you know, I identified with Janice when she was saying, you know, my first impression, you know, about Dr. Heavenly, I just felt like it was rude, arrogant, ignorant, and just who does that? Who classless? And even all that time, Dr. Heavenly didn't say anything. And that's what I'm saying. You got to have a backbone. Dr. Heavenly didn't say anything. Well, I don't appreciate that. Dr. Heavenly sat there and let Janice give her account of her impression of Dr. Heavenly. And on that couch, Heavenly shut her mouth and then profusely apologized to Janice. That is how you teach somebody how to treat you. You teach someone from the get-go how to treat you. Because if you don't, you let them run over, then you will never, ever get that respect. Janice said, she said it straight how it was going to run. And evidently, Dr. Heavenly has not changed. She followed suit. So good for you, Janice. So it is clear that things were going on behind the scenes between Mariah and Dr. Heavenly that no one was aware of, because truth be told, this did not play out on TV. And if it did, in the comments, let me know. But this animosity between Mariah and Dr. Heavenly that is so thick that you can cut with a knife, it did not play on camera. However, if you follow Mariah on Facebook Live, she has a lot to say about Dr. Heavenly. So if anybody doesn't know where is this all coming from, and I don't even know it's going to play out in part 2, but the last Facebook Live that Mariah did, because a lot of times when she does Facebook Live, her sister is in the background and Miss Lucy is in the background. And on this one, the reunion had already been taped. And she had alluded that Dr. Heavenly was mad at Mariah because of some things that her mother said. And that, you know, she kind of, in the past, she always says, you know, I can't have Miss Lucy on camera too long because, you know, Miss Lucy will say things and then I get blamed for it. So evidently, Miss Lucy made some comments. Dr. Heavenly wasn't happy. And of course, you know, Mariah's going to be like a lot of people, you're not going to talk about my mama. And therein lies part of the thing. Now, also, Mariah did say that she stinks and her house is filthy, and that Miss Lucy didn't want to touch anything at her house. So, of course, that has left Dr. Heavenly very much in her feelings. So, I don't know if it's going to play back, but now that I'm telling you this background behind the scenes is one of the reasons why Mariah made that comment about her dentist office being filthy, because of the comments and things that Miss Lucy may have said about Dr. Heavenly's house. And then Mariah said on Facebook Live that she's musty, that she don't know about her hygiene, but she's musty, that her arms are musty, and that her house is filthy. So there you go. That's some of the behind the scenes tea if you didn't already know. So I hope that gave you some insight, but I just found it kind of interesting how the ladies wanted some understanding, but yet, and I'm not saying that Lisa is without any fault, but like I said, there was clearly an alliance on one side of the couch and another. And here's a good example. Towards the end, they were talking about, Mariah was also saying things about Dr. Darren from previous seasons. And Lisa didn't believe it. And of course, Mariah denied it. When Dr. Heavenly was talking to Quad about things that she should change, Quad didn't seem to be concerned about it. She took it all in stride. She didn't take it as a personal attack. You know, even with the thing about Lisa saying about Mariah and Quad having a lesbian relationship, Quad just took it all in stride. No, I take it back. Mariah took it all in stride. In fact, Mariah was like, I don't even want to talk about that. So it's very clear that one side of the couch is an alliance and the other side has an alliance. I don't think Janice has an alliance. I think Janice she's for her. And I believe that Dr. Jackie is neutral, but does have things to say. But the ladies, Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Simone, Quad, yeah, they have a united front. And Toya, they have a united front. So that is very clear how that has played out at the reunion. And if I forgot anything that I should have said, please put it in the comments. Yeah. I will say this. I love my friends. I love my family. But I have said this many, many times to my people who I care about when it comes to relationships. And I tell them, I don't care. I don't care. I've had friends and family members who have been in relationships, marriages, and I have seen things play out that I just, you know, shake my head and I really don't understand. I don't get it, but I don't care. And I've said it in a way that to make them understand. It's not that I don't care. I just don't care, because I got my own relationship to work on and deal with. And like I said, you know, marriage, relationships, that is an action word. It is something that you have to commit to daily. I'm working diligently on my own relationship. I don't have time to emotionally invest in yours. I care about your well-being. I care that you're happy. But the truth of the matter is that I have no control over those relationships. And so I don't care. I know that when you are done and you are fed up enough that you want something different, you will do something different. And so I am not going to waste my time talking and making comments about a relationship that I have no control over. And you're going to do what you want to do anyway. So, you know, I've had family members come to me and I'm like, why are you talking to me about this? Why are you talking to me about him or her? You know, I don't have to eat with them. I don't have to sleep with them. I don't have to do their laundry. I don't have to claim them on my taxes. I don't have to deal with them unless and until I choose to. It's not my relationship and it's not yours. And the best thing you could do is stay out of it. That's the kind of friend I am. If you didn't ask me, I'm not telling you what you should do. That is not my job at all. So that's how I deal with stuff. So let me know what you think about the reunion, what you liked, what you didn't like. Did you get any insight? Yeah, it's very telling. We'll see how part 2 goes along. But that's all I have for now. Thank you so much for checking in. I know I've been late, but you guys know why. I was enjoying myself for my wedding anniversary, having lots of fun and festivities. So take care of yourself and each other, and I will talk to you soon, because yeah, Real Housewives of Atlanta. It looks like it's going to be a good show tonight. Talk to you soon. Bye.